a show stating what others hate. Seeking the truth and transparency here on Patriot View
at 1A Independent News.
With your host, Bear Direct.
So, hey, what's going on, Patriots? Thank you for joining us for this episode of Patriot View at 1A Independent News. So, I think I'm going to go this way here. I just saw two of the dumbest things this morning. PSA for the first thing in the morning for stupidity. One, I'm filling up, getting my gas, and I didn't realize it at the time because all I'm smelling is diesel fumes because there's a diesel truck running at the pump still. So all I'm smelling is diesel fumes. But right at the end, as I'm finishing up, the moron that's filling up is smoking a cigarette at the pump. Now understand, not only is it a diesel, it's a dual pump, gasoline and diesel. Stuff gets leaked out all of. There's always fumes around. It's always a fire risk. Okay, understand at the pump. People go, "Oh, at the pumps." I mentioned this before at one point years ago, and I mentioned before that I used to be a firefighter. Well, guess what? Was in my town, in my fire district, several gas stations. And, you hear about a gas station catching on, car fire at the gas station. And then you figure, oh, it's just a car fire. It's just a car fire. It has nothing to do with something sparking the fuel on the ground or fumes from the vehicle at all. It's the car itself was always the answer. And I can tell you right now, I've seen firsthand a fire at a gas station at the pumps, and it was not the car itself. Well, we're not going to say it's not the car itself, but the ignition point was not within the car. So the car did not catch on fire is what I'm saying. This is a way to start out a freaking episode, right? PSAs. So there's several things that can cause a car fire at a gas station, at the pumps. Your car physically catching on fire, or other points of ignition. That's why they say no idling at the pump, no smoking at the pump. There's reasons for it. And just some people just don't understand. If there's a catastrophic failure, we'll say, and when I say catastrophic, I mean people are going to die type scenario. It's too late for them to comply or be corrected about the issue and do something different next time, because it might be too late for them. Oh, you're Mr. Doom and Gloom. No, I'm Mr. Reality. I've seen things and understand the hazards and what kind of luck the people that were in these situations had. Oh, they have these fire suppression systems at these gas stations. Yeah, absolutely they do. When was the last time they were tested? Is it going to trigger right away? Is because sometimes there's a delay. The elements haven't been met yet, right, to trigger the self-suppression. Has somebody inside seen it and hit the triggered the fire suppression? Who knows? Who knows? Excuse me. The point is, things can turn real bad really fast when you're idling at the pump, you're smoking at the pump. They had the things on the pumps, the warnings on the pumps, not to use cell phones at the pumps. Why? It was for static electricity and stuff like that. Static electricity can cause gasoline fumes or fuel fumes to ignite. Well, that's just silly. Silly Willy, silly Billy. Silly as it may be. Is it worth the gamble? That's the question. Is it worth the gamble? I don't think so. So the next thing is, and I'd mentioned it before for similar things, and people just don't understand. This is why I think that people, I know, here it comes, and I'm going to get an email. Well, you are doing these episodes where you're driving down the road, these carpools. So, but yeah, am I looking at the camera? Am I looking at the road? Am I paying attention to what I'm supposed to be paying attention to? That's the next question. You realize when you have people in your vehicle, especially like passenger seat, back seat, you're more distracted talking to your passengers than I am right now doing this. Why do you have your warning flashers on? Okay, then. But anyways. I'm less distracted doing this than if I have people in my vehicle. Just a fact. How do you know? Because I'm doing this and I've had people in my vehicle. So I know the difference in the distraction level. But my MOS in the Marine Corps was motor transport. I know how to multitask. So don't go there. So when I come to this point, you have it, bro, tonight, almost every, I don't want to say every town, but a lot of villages, cities have them where you have a median. Okay. And there's a left arrow and a right arrow, right? Well, for people, depending on which direction you're going, the arrow's for you to turn into a business or whatnot. Not a road, a business. Or on either side. So there's an arrow pointing to each side of the road. And then maybe at the end, you have a merging lane, because you got the lane, your drive lanes that come up, a median. And then the median's going to cut off, and that road traffic is going to merge, say, to the left, right? Well, this is like the third time that I pulled out of the gas station and got into that went to get into that merge lane, or the turn lane, the median, to turn into the bank, and almost got hit from somebody that's almost 100 yards away from where the actual merge lane is, to move into the next, to go straight. Because this particular intersection is it's a four-way intersection, lighted intersection, but it's a weird shape, because you got the one lane that's coming up and it goes straight, But the road itself actually, the route number actually turns off to the right. Then there's another one that comes off the side. So you can either go left, kind of semi-straight, or make a right. It's a weird intersection. But when you're coming up, heading south, we'll say, that median cuts off. So people that are going straight can merge over into that lane to go straight. And always there's people that are way back at the next light that will drive up that turn lane, that turn median, so that way they can go straight. They'll just go right straight up the median. And I almost got hit again. Only I stood my ground this time. I made the person actually, because my turn signal, I was in the median. I was actually merging into the median already. This guy came up like a bat out of hell in a freaking 30-mile-an-hour speed zone and almost freaking drove right in the front of me. And it's not the first time this particular car has done that. So, no, I stood my ground this time. You're going to hit me. You're going to hit me. I'm in the right. You're in the wrong because you're going all the way. You're in travel. I'm turning. You don't belong in that lane, that median. I do. You don't. So, this is why I say I think people need to, depending on what the traffic infraction is, if they're repeat offenders, they should have to go back to driving school. Sorry. You know what? Here's a better idea. Before you make them do driving school or anything, make them do another road test. They got to pass a road test. And they have to do it within a few days of seeing, okay, well, you've got this, you have multiple infractions. So you're going to have to, well, you know what? Hey, you're right. That will affect me. That would affect my wife. That would affect my family. But guess what? It wouldn't. Because for some reason, we just don't get tickets. Oh, it's just because you're good, you haven't got caught. I haven't had a ticket, and it was a speeding ticket, since 99, 2000, something like that. My wife got one that she shouldn't have got. Right up the road from her house, because her daughter texted her. She pulled over into the business on the corner and apparently stopped to answer the text. And apparently people were cutting through their, because right at a traffic light, were cutting through their parking lot to get, instead of waiting for the light, they'd cut through the parking lot and catch the road because they hadn't wanted to make the right anyway. So there happened to be a sheriff's deputy a few cars back when my wife pulled in there. And I asked her, I go, were you stopped? Yeah. I go, and he ticketed you for, you told him you got a text. Yep. You told him that you stopped because your daughter texted and you wanted to make sure everything was all right. Yep. You were stopped when he in park when he walked up. Yep. Well, before he pulled in. Yep. Okay, and he still ticketed you. Yep. You said, I got a text. It's illegal to text and drive. So I pulled over. You have to pull over. Yeah. I said, no, you didn't. I do by the way she said it, that she didn't say that. I go, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go to court with you. No, I'll take care of it. It's like, okay, so I went through the list. This is what you got, da. She comes home. She goes, yeah, they were going to make me pay it anyway, so I just paid it. I got the fine. I paid it. I go, are you out of your mind? That's points on that's going to show up on our insurance now. Now our premium's going to go up, which it did. Got hit. Took a minute or two for it to catch up, but it happened. It's like, what are you doing? Why didn't you? I wrote you a list. You should have gotten out of it. Request the dash cam footage, body cam footage, everything that would show that you were already pulled over and parked before he ever pulled in. Because then if this doesn't show that anything, then it's his word against yours at that point. You've got the I can't text and drive defense. I stopped because my daughter was going through some stuff and I wanted to make sure she was all right. And nope, instead they hit you with avoiding a traffic device. Avoiding a traffic device. Well, that's where my stuff kicks in, because I did work for these people, for this company that actually pulled in their parking lot. And when they got my bill, they asked me, they're like, how come your bill's so much higher this week or this time? I go, well, let me tell you a story. And I told them that they paid that fine. And they're like, what? Well, I go, no. Because she pulled in here to answer a text because our daughter was having an issue. And yeah, we're right up the road from the house. But she wasn't going to wait in case it was an emergency. So she stopped, answered the text, and and as she's reading the text, here comes Officer freaking Numbnuts. Because you called and complained about people cutting through the parking lot, avoiding the light. So that wasn't the case. He didn't care. She got a ticket. She paid the fine because she didn't listen to me to begin with. So now I'm passing that. It's a tax now. You're paying it. And they were just like, oh, well, was that's not really that fair. I go, how it wasn't fair that I got my point, my insurance is going to go up either because the deputy didn't listen when she had a valid reason for stopping here, and it wasn't avoiding the traffic device. But he ended up paying it because I was right down the road, and I was the only one that would jump up at wee hours in the middle of the night if needs be to go get his stuff back up and running. So it wasn't like he was going to call somebody else right away. So, still didn't help with the points on the license or on the premium. Well, that shouldn't have raised your premium. State Farm, they did. They raised it. If an insurance company can find a reason to raise your rate, they will. If they can figure out a way to siphon more money out of you, they will. So, stand your ground. If you got a valid, you're getting a BS ticket, and you got a valid, some valid reason. Listen, if you're speeding, you're speeding. There ain't nothing valid. I got some of my father's in the hospital, this and that. But listen, you speeding does not get you there any faster. It can actually get you dead. Okay? Again, I know. Firefighter, first responder coming out. Again, the speeding's not going to get you where you're going any faster. You might, or you might not. Okay. Again, I've extricated people that were in a hurry to get to the hospital. Exactly one of them. That's why I mention it. Or for whatever other reason. I'm late for an appointment. I'm late for an interview. But I've extricated people, and these were some of these. I don't know what happened. I was on my way. You clearly tell that speed was a factor. They were speeding. Going too fast for the road conditions. Don't do that. If you're on your way to the hospital, your priority at that point should be getting there safe. You need to get there. It's bad enough you got other people that are driving like idiots that you gotta hope they don't take you out. Don't be that person. Okay? Don't be that person. You know, why do you say this? Why are you burning up a whole episode just in PSA? It started, and you know what? I'm just gonna finish it this way too. Because hopefully you get enough people that see it. Maybe they will start thinking themselves. Maybe I have some bad habits myself, that maybe I need to correct. Maybe you'll catch yourself doing something that I mentioned and stop you, maybe correct yourself. Maybe you're with somebody that's doing it and you're like, hey man, my wife used to have a lot of bad driving habits. Lots of bad driving habits when we got together. Years ago. It took me a long time, but I have since corrected those issues. One, I was when I was in the Marine Corps, I was a motor transport instructor for a while. So lots of different things that I taught, and it was driving. Why would you teach driving if they can drive already? Why would you be teaching driving? Just because they had a driver's license didn't mean they freaking were a good driver. We have to take a driver and turn him into an excellent driver. A driver that can handle the equipment that they're driving. Most of these guys thought they could just jump right into a Humvee and take off and not have a problem. And next thing you know, they're out on the main roads, off base, or going down the road with a lined road, and they're in the other lane. It's like, get out of the other lane. I'm not in the other lane. Yes, you are. Get out of that lane. Because the way the hood of the vehicle is, can actually, we'll say, in a stupid term, discombobulate the appearance of the lane. So it makes you think you're in the lane, and you're really not. So you have to teach them how to judge the lane by parts of the hood. What he had, a 998, 1038 or something. I can't remember. I have to go back and look at my credentials. One had a brush guard on it and a winch. One didn't. One didn't have a winch. So we did have some that didn't have the brush guard, the gate up on the front. But they generally didn't have a winch on them either. So that's really the difference, is one has a winch, one don't. So we had to teach them how to line up those sections of the hood, the lines, in like with the one with the brush guard, or called the cattle catcher. So that way it's lined up on the driver's side. The line was actually, you're seeing the line between the edge of the curve of the hood and the edge of the inside edge of that brush guard that's on the front. Okay, and as long as your line was in that, you were in your lane. For the ones that didn't have one, it was just keep it the line so you can see it on this point. As if people are just looking straight ahead, they're just seeing now, understand a hood's not set up the same way that a regular vehicle is. And I've seen people with civilian Humvees back then. Basically, what they are is they're repurposed. They're blah 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 blah. Humvee actually sold them for a while to the civilian model. And I'd see these people coming down the road, never driven one of these things before, and here they come driving right in your lane because they don't know that it's a visual problem is what it is. We had to make these guys and gals better drivers, is what it was. So they, no matter what they were driving, they were on top of their game. You're military drivers. This is what you do. You drive. And you got to be the best. So I've kind of instilled that when I was in the got out, and I ended up being in the fire department. I was used to driving big trucks, heavy engines, towers, things like that, tankers, heavy rescues. It wasn't like driving a car. It wasn't like driving a pickup. You got to be on top of your game, or somebody gets hurt. So there's things that I always saw, which is why I always tell my wife. I always told my wife, anybody I've ever driven with that's driving, not so well, hey man, you got to stop and let's back this up, and let's think about this. Let's do this, because you're a little off kilter. You catch somebody that's going straight, and they're actually in a median that's a turn lane. I meant to turn into businesses and not actual part of the traffic. Correct them and say, hey man, you really shouldn't be in this lane. You could cause an accident. Well, somebody hits me there because you're in the wrong lane. Correct them. They might get mad at you. I had one of my a friend and one of my brothers got mad at me because I've done that. Actually in that same place. And I corrected him. It's like, man, you can't. What are you doing? One, if you get an accident, you're going to get a ticket. Especially if they can prove that you were going straight and you weren't. If you have somebody with you, because guess what? I'm not going to lie for you. You get in an accident with me, I'm not going to lie for you. I'm going to say exactly what happened. Our friendship, my family, we're not talking. We don't talk anymore anyway, because I corrected him. And I told him, I'm not going to lie for you. If I'm with you here and you get in an accident, I'm not going to lie for you. If you were wrong, you were wrong. So if you hit somebody, you drive up this median that's meant with turn arrows for people to turn left and right. Well, it would be left either way, depending on whether you're going north or south. It's still going to be left, right? So it's meant for vehicles that are turning left into businesses. And if you hit a vehicle because that's in that lane that's turning left, going to be turning left into a business, and you're using it to drive up as a lane because you don't want to wait till you want to pass all these cars and before you get to the merging part of the lane to go straight. And I know that, and you get in an accident, I am not lying for you. You will go down, you will burn, you'll get the ticket. Because I'm not letting somebody that's innocent, that's in the lane to turn left, that you just hit, I'm not going to let them take the ticket. Because they were in the right, you were in the wrong. So no, they don't talk to me anymore. My wife, I did that to my wife before. She got so ticked. And I'm like, listen, bottom line, you're wrong. You're wrong. You could literally cause an accident. And if something happens, you get the ticket. Bottom line. Driving, doing this, doing that. Listen, you're the one that's gonna get the ticket. She hates it when I do that. That's a ticketable offense. Don't do that. Why? Because I don't want to pay higher premiums in insurance. We already pay enough. Do I know a lot of the traffic laws? I know a ton of the traffic laws. I know what you can and can't do. I know what you can get a ticket for. It's like blowing your damn horn in New York. It's a ticketable offense unless you're using it for what it was intended for in the law. It's a warning device, not a touch hole device. My father used to do it all the time. Somebody would just blow his horn, braille right on it. It's like, stop doing that. You could get a ticket for that. No, you can't. I showed him the law. Oh, geez, I didn't realize that. How you ain't got a ticket yet, I don't know. So, let's start thinking about what's going on, what things are happening, what we do, what our bad habits are, and kind of try driving habits and kind of change them. Let me spin this around one way before I know I just got into this whole rant PSA on driving because it drives me nuts. But since we're talking about that, what started it off was I stopped for gas. So I'm gonna close with this, with gas. So right now, President Trump's announced the initiative that and everything, and the hopes that I didn't hear a timeline, but at some point, hopefully soon, he's talking about possibly being able to reduce, and this is through some of the initiatives and tax reforms and stuff, to reduce the cost of gas at the pump to down around $2 a gallon. Holy hell, man. I would love that. Especially now. I would love it. I would love it. A lot of people would love it. It would cost me less money because I do almost 100 miles a day. So you can imagine how much money I spend. I get gas almost every day. So people that are like me, you'd be very grateful with that gas. If that gas gets down to around $2, or even if it drops below $2, I'd be ecstatic. I remember paying 75 cents, 50 cents, 75 cents a gallon. It didn't cost squat to fill my truck or my car. Yeah, and even then I'm like, oh, Jesus. Oh, geez. Oh, friggin' just cost a bunch of money. And it really didn't. It really didn't. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, y'all, that this gas price goes down to around $2 a gallon within the next year. Hopefully sooner than later. So, all right, guys, I'm going to bust out. But before I do, we do not have any sponsors. If you want to help us out, sorry about the rant. Hopefully somebody gets something out of this. Government's back open. But Democrats are still going to try to play dirty. A lot of Democrats still going to try to play dirty. They got calls now for Chuck Schumer to, just, I don't know, resign or not run again and blah, blah, blah. Hakeem Jeffries and AOC are involved trying to figure out how they can get Chuck Schumer's seat filled, blah, 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 blah. It's a whole conspiracy. I mean, these people are nuts. But anyways, so government's reopened. They're working on getting everybody their back pay, and we'll go from there. So, but anyways, we do not have any sponsors. We have items we recommend on our website. So our website and email were up at the beginning. If it's not up already, it will be up. Website and email will be up. So if you're on Facebook, X or Truth, you're getting the episode of the day. Share on those platforms. Sign up for a free Rumble account. Follow and subscribe, whatever happens to be there on Rumble. You could share Rumble also. So share. The plan was to fund what our project is through Rumble views. We're not getting the Rumble views that we need, so we're getting 0. I've been funding everything out of my pocket from day one. I've had to cancel our live streaming platform, which really sucks because we could put things up real time and up on the screen while we were talking. I'm not doing that with the editor because then I got to find the place. It just takes a long time to do it. So if you want to help us out, get those views up. YouTube, we're back up on YouTube. YouTube started out all right, and then it kind of petered out. So if you're on YouTube, help get us. Go over to Rumble, man. Go over to Rumble. Sign up for a free Rumble account. Follow us on Rumble. If you need to know want the link or whatever, you can't find it, hit us in the email. We'll send you, or hit us in the comments. We'll get you the information. Excuse me. Two ways you can support us on the website. Okay. Bottom of the homepage is crowdfunding box. If you want to help us out through crowdfunding, top of all the pages on the website, there's a little gift box. That little gift box is put up there by a hosting provider. Anything you gift to that gift box goes directly to our hosting provider. It does not go to us. It goes to our hosting provider, credits our hosting account. And so there's some ways you can help support us. With Rumble, we don't have to jump through hoops to monetize. We just need the numbers, the views. With any like YouTube and all the other platforms, you got to meet certain criteria. You got to have this many views, this many followers, this many that, and it's a pain right in the rump. So either way, help us out, help us get those views up, no matter where you're at. The only two places we monetize are YouTube and the only two places we can't monetize on YouTube yet because we don't have the numbers. What is required. Facebook, we don't either. So we don't live, we don't live to or anything on Facebook, but we do monetize right now because we can on Rumble, because all we got to have is the views. The views is what the numbers of views is what we get. What generates. It's not generating anything for us because we don't have enough views. So help us out, help us get those up. If you see a piece on our website that doesn't have a name, it's ours. If you got something you want to say, send it to us to the email and we'll put it up on the website, but we have to review. As long as it's not crazy and outlandish, run your piece through a grammar editor. It's going to help put piece it together so it's not all one run-on sentence. People understand what you're trying to say. Quotes and quotes have to be in quotations. Sources or references, the name of the in brackets, the name of the website, minus .com, .net, .org, no dot nothing. Name of the website, title of the piece, for both the references, sources, and quotes. This is going to be the same. Copy the index address out of the address bar at the top of your browser, paste it directly above, directly below the quote. And sources or references in the brackets. What we're going to do is we're going to hyperlink it into the quote, the address into the quote or the reference, change the text a different color. People see the different color. They click on it, goes to the page on the website that the quote was taken off, or the references there. References or sources there to support what you're saying. You're not quoting it. Okay. So make sure we get it all tied together. Make sure it's known that it's your opinion or your view. And this is what it is. This is how I feel. This is what I believe, this is my view on this. So, all right. Must have a first name or pseudonym attached to it. Okay. I know. Why am I going to send it to you? Because some people just do not have something they want to get out, something they want to say, but don't want to put it on their own social media profile. We get it. We're going to give you a way to do that. Again, must have a first name or pseudonym, state and location, not a physical address. State and location so we can see where you're reaching out. Others can see where you're reaching out. So like Sally from San Diego, California. Because there's a lot of Californians that are really getting mad at the Democrats, even Democrats. So Democrats are at war with each other right now. So that, okay, let's see how that plays out. Or soldier from Fort Drum, New York. Simple, straightforward. Or maybe Watertown, New York. But you get what I'm saying. Simple, straightforward, non-identifying. The only one that's going to know it's you is you, and whoever else you tell it's you. So, again, send us what you got. Hit us in the comment section. If you're somebody that wants to help promote, send us an email. Do not comment anything fluff or anything about your promotion. Send us an email. Email and website are right up here. Send us an email. If you can comment on the topics and what the discussion was, but do not try to promote yourself to get us to use you or discuss promotion with you in the comment section for the episodes. Hit us in the email. So, all right, guys. Again, no matter how much you want to support us, help us get those views up. That's the best. That's the way we want everybody to help us. Help us get those views up. Or you can hit us in the comments or the crowdfunding on the bottom of the homepage on the website and email, or the hosting. So, again, we want to thank you for your support, no matter how it is or how you do it. We want to thank you again for watching this episode of Patriot View at 1A Independent News. And as always, till next time, stay frosty, my friends.
You just heard Patriot View
at 1A Independent News
with Bear Direct. Join us on Rumble at 1A Independent News for our daily broadcast.